Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another movie related video. So today I wanted to do a video talking about my experience with collecting and some tips and tricks that I advise you guys to do if you're just starting to collect movies, and what I wish I knew before doing so. So I don't really have a set number, nothing's more important than the other. I just thought these are kind of some things that I've picked up along the way that I feel that you guys should know if you're starting off doing a movie collection, what you need to look out for. That will just make your life a lot easier and save you a lot more money in the long run. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. So the first tip is have in mind what you want to collect. So this may seem like a very stupid tip, but what I mean is if you only have a certain amount of space or a certain amount of money, then think to yourself, what do I love in film? Do I want to only collect boutique labels? Do I want to only collect horror movies? Things that you really enjoy that you can focus on. Because as soon as you go into wherever you guys go to buy your movies, I do a lot of mine in HMV over here in England, and they got a lot of sales on, and you see a lot of like 2 for 30 deals. It's very easy to just be blindsided by the prices and just pick, and then you get home and you find half your space is took up by things that you kind of really wish was took up by other stuff. So that's kind of what I mean by have in mind what you want to collect, because it's very easy to be swayed by what you see and the prices and the deals than actually what you in the long run would like your library to be, because the collection is a reflection of your personality, of yourself. So if you are someone that absolutely adores anime movies, but you only have enough space for 2 anime movies because you've bought X amount of romance movies because they were all on like a 2 for £10 deal, then what you're portraying to people isn't really reflective of yourself and not something that you would really want to show. You want to showcase your love for things, and yet when you only have a small amount of space, then obviously you kind of want to pick and choose a bit more, be a bit more frugal with what you're getting. Granted, if you have a lot of space or you don't really have anything in mind, you don't really care, you like with everything, then by all means just go and be swayed by stuff. But if you have in mind that you really love horror, stick to as many horror movies as you can get. By all means go out and branch out and get more different stuff, but at the core of it, if you have limited space, think about what you're putting in that. That's a tip for you. The next tip is have a budget in mind. So this is something that I've had to deal with. Okay, I've been actively collecting since I was about 15 years old. I'm going to be, as of recording this, 28 in about a week and a half's time. God help me. But I am someone that when I worked in a store that was right next door to HMV, my budget, I wouldn't have a budget. I would put so much money into movies that at the end of the month I'd be struggling to actually eat, I'd be struggling to get into work, all that stuff I need. In my head I just could see, I'd go in every day and I would see all these deals, and to me I would get sucked in. And I find it's a very slippery slope. It's a very dangerous slope of getting addicted to this. And I feel like if you can have in mind, you're only going to spend X amount of money in this visit, or every month you put aside X amount of money, then you know that once that's gone, it's gone. You don't have anything else to put into it. And that will make you, one, make it more enjoyable. It won't turn it into an addiction, which can be very dangerous. And 2, as well, it makes you think more about where you're going, what you're doing. You get more for your money then, because you're actively thinking, well, that there is brand new at $24.99, but if I wait a few weeks, that's likelihood is that's going to go down to $19.99. I get it then. That sort of thing, you know, like you're actively looking for more deals. And I feel like in the long run, that's so much better for your bank account as well as your mental health, because I went through a phase where I'd go in, and this was when the HMV were doing the 5 for £30 deal for Blu-rays, and I'd go in, I'd spend 90 quid in there every day. And then when it got to the end of the month, I would be like, oh my God, I would need to borrow money from my family to be able to actually then get lunch or to actually get into work. And it was a slippery slope, because I would go every lunchtime and I would work full time and I'd go in every lunchtime, and it was just a very, very bad for my mental health. So yeah, always have a budget in mind, because it's going to save you money in the long run, but also it's going to keep this thing you do enjoyable. You don't want to freak out about money when it's something you do to express yourself, to help you de-stress from the time that you spend doing things you don't want to do. So don't let it consume you, and a budget is a big way to combat that, I find. Another one is something that I haven't done in so bloody long. I don't know why it took me so long, but it's to find a way to document your library. Because, as I said, I've done this for decade and a bit, and I've only just recently gotten on to documenting my library. So there was years where I would come back with movies and I'd go to put it in my library, and I'd realise I've got that exact same disc, exact same edition, and I just did not have it written down anywhere for me to check. So I would be spending sometimes 4 times I'd come and buy the same movie, because it would be like months in advance. And this is something, when you get a bigger collection, it's so easy to forget what you've got, especially when you're in like a time crunch. So you're in a place where maybe you don't have much time, and you see it there and you think, do I have it? Do you have it? And you think, I don't know, and you buy it anyway, because you don't know when you're going to be back there. So have a way to do it. That can be through an app, that can be through writing it down, a spreadsheet. I used to do a spreadsheet, but now I've upgraded to a £1.50 a month app where you just barcode it in and it's all there. But it will save you hassle, thinking, have I done it, have I not done it, and also a lot of money from repeat buys, and a lot of hassle as well with regards to getting that money back, whether it's refunding it or whether it is selling it. So yeah, make sure you document your library, especially I would say when it gets over the 100 mark. Make sure you document it. And the final tip I'm going to do today, I might do another video talking about more tips, because there's so many tips I can have, is that when buying pre-owned, buy in store if you can. So what I mean by that is, we have a pre-owned place here in the UK called Kex, C-E-X, however you want to pronounce it. And this is the place to be to get all of your pre-owned stuff, because as you know, I am getting rid of my DVDs and I'm upgrading them to Blu-ray 4K, and I'm getting so many of them for like £1.50, 50p, £2. Where if you buy them brand new, they're like upwards from £8 to sometimes £14.99. But I found that the actual stock on the website, it will be a stock image of that product, not what you're actually getting. So there's been times where I've ordered collector's editions and it's missing stuff. It's missing a postcard, it's missing a poster. There's been times where steelbooks have come and they're dented or scratched. There's been times where the discs are unplayable. Granted, they do have a good warranty on them. It's just hassle having to go in to CEX and get it sorted. So I know I've done it a while, and like your bog standard Blu-rays, I know 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be okay, especially like newer Blu-rays. When you get into like the old Blu-ray, like the first edition of Blu-rays, then you start to think maybe it's not going to be great with the discs. But like newer Blu-rays, I'm pretty safe. But I will never buy a steelbook unless I'm in store to look at it, and I will 9 times out of 10, unless I know which store it's in and I've seen it firsthand, I will stay clear of collector's editions, because I've just had too many problems with them. And steelbooks, they're lovely to have, but they're so fragile, and just you don't want them if they're absolutely destroyed, because they look awful when they're destroyed. So if you can, try and buy it in store, or at least get a look of it. So send someone out there. Maybe you can't, there's not an option for you to go somewhere. So like I said, if you have a friend that lives by, see if they can find it there. all that sort of stuff. Like, see, you know, message them, call up your local one and see if they have it there and what the condition's like and all that. See, because you can call them and you can say, hi, I see that you've got a steelbook of X movie in your system, in your store. What's the condition like? I'm unable to come down to check it. And if they're good at their job, they will just say, yeah, it's dented, it's a bit scratched, or it's perfect. So do that sort of stuff, because there's nothing worse, again, than having to pay money, get it come, because CX as well, you have to pay per item for delivery. So you're paying about £3 for delivery per item. There's nothing worse than getting a lot of steelbooks and they're all dented or scratched and you have to take them back or send them back for a refund or to get a new one. And yeah, it's a lot of hassle, a lot of time, a lot of effort for something that if there's a way for you to find out, then try and go down that route. But like I said, those are some tips that I wish I knew starting, because it would save me a lot of time and hassle. But also for you guys, if you're someone that's wanting to get into physical media, or maybe someone that has done physical media in the past and kind of, you know, you're thinking about like revamping your library, then these things I think will kind of make your life a bit easier. This also can be covered through anything you collect. It doesn't have to be movies, it can be vinyl, it can be like Funko Pops, it can be anything. They can kind of be there and took onto those ones. And like I said, I might do a part 2 where I do more tips and tricks, because this video could be 30 minutes long with tips. So yeah, let me know if you want to see part 2, and also drop down in the comments what things would you advise other people to do. What some things have you been burnt by in the past that you advocate never to do, that sort of thing. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It makes Soph very happy. There you go, you love it when I do a smile. Also follow me on the social medias. This is where to be for new physical media and like in-depth looking and all that sort of stuff. So thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. It really, really does. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Ciao, ciao. See you at the next one.